Again, I'm looking here. Why are you saying that? It's saying I'm offline. Okay, I'm really curious. It's saying offline, and I don't know why. So if you're seeing me, I've got more gremlins in my system today than Spielberg, man. Oh, hot damn. Okay, I see the feed. I see the feed, ladies and gentlemen. You may have been seeing it. I just now have been seeing it. So let me just come back over here. Hey, let's start again. It's 17 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour. It is 28 degrees. I think is what the last check was. Let me double check. I mean, I've been wrangling with this thing. It's been quite the Monday morning, and I love these because stereotypes exist for a reason, kids. And all right, we're resetting, we're starting all over again. And it's funny, it's like a Murphy's Law thing, I guess, this morning. Like everything that could be like goofy, wonky, not right, that happened. So, anyway, let's get into it then. All right, it's cold this morning. There's a winter weather advisory in parts of the region. Storm Track 360 has all of that information. I put it up on the Facebook page. And my Lord, I can only imagine the whiplash that's been happening on the YouTube stream because my buddy Gar was watching over there and may still be watching right now. Hey Gar, thanks, buddy. Um, boy, what a great morning. But now you know what? Here's the best part about my own system that I built for myself is even though all these technical things have happened, in the back of the day, you'd never talk about it. But when you're like your own chief engineer and board op and everything, you're going to talk about it because you're wrangling with it in the moment. And otherwise, you just I don't know, it's just crazy. So anyway, we're here now. We're friends. It's Monday, and we're going to get through it together. And actually, all of these hiccups kind of ties perfectly into the direction that I'm taking you in December with our coffee talks. Okay, so I'm gonna back it up all the way to the top. But first off, do seriously, there is a winter weather advisory. If you go to Storm Track 360, which I am fixing to do right now, so you can take a look at that. But go see my pal Brandon. Definitely, if you have not downloaded the app yet, do yourself, your family, your friends, your community a favor and go do that. So, okay, here we go. Now I'm watching all the other bells and whistles to see if this thing's working. So, like, okay, now here is that winter weather forecast right there, or the winter weather advisory in effect until noon today. That's Central Time. Arkansas, Benton, Carroll, Madison, Washington. Those are the direct impacted ones, right? So now here's where we are. Now we here in Boone, this whole little swath right here, we're totally in the clear ish, right? All right. Now this is wacky. Let me make sure I'm reading this thing. But this is why you got to follow Brandon. He's the weather guy. So he definitely stays on top of it all. But yeah, so either way it goes, it's just funky. Plug in Storm Track 360, get the app on your phone, whether it's for the iPhone or the Android devices. He's got you covered. So all that said, on the whole, we seem to be okay. A few little spits and sputters of snow. But you know what? The best part about this is all about Brandon having it covered, and that's awesome. So, that said, how are you? How is your morning? How you doing? I am glad. I am very glad that your Monday is going swimmingly and that good juju is going to permeate all throughout the interwebs and around so that we all can start our weeks together. And not just starting a week, it's starting the whole month, December the 1st, as a matter of fact, on a Monday. Hmm, good. Golly, Miss Molly. But again, that's the thing. It's like when you have these hiccups, these moments, these punches in the face, you got to step back and go, well, it didn't kill me. So I'm good. I'm all right. That probably just got me flagged and kicked off the damn internet. Use the wrong word. You know what? It's okay. Why? Because as we're kicking off this new series that I'm putting together for the month of December as part of our coffee talk, um, the motivation behind it comes in this time of the year, and along with this ongoing loneliness epidemic that we have all across the world, but definitely in this country. This is the best thing I could think of to do something to help break that loneliness. Because, quite frankly, even though we are all living inside of a boxed up world, right? We're all living up in a boxed up world, and we can get so detached because we get so busy, and then we don't see each other out there and share the same oxygen and such, and it's sad. Plus, you got the pressures of what is the holiday shopping season, and that's one of those things that I mean, I dig it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not some kind of like Grinch killjoy on it, but at the same time, the manipulation tactics that are used against all of us in from the realm of advertising, marketing, and promotion, which I personally love, but I don't like a manipulative form of it. Right? It's like anything. It's a tool that can inform you, teach you about new stuff, give you the opportunity to do new things. That's great. But when when they're twisting your brain and you don't realize that they're doing it, that's where I have a problem. So the way I'm contending with it is again just sharing insights that I myself threw something away. Oh, I'm fidgety this morning. I apologize, guys. But when I wrote the book, it all started, as I've said, with the question of why do I have all this stuff? Why is it all over me? Why is it around me? What am I doing? And I deep dove and I wanted to find out why. And in uncovering my own inner demons of things, I realized that we all kind of share that same problem. Not all of us, but a lot of us. And with those lot of us, they may need the same assistance and deep dive that I did, but don't have time to do it. That's why we write books, kids, to help one another out. So that said, it looks like I'm froze over there on the internet. I don't know if I am or not. Hell, I probably am. But if you're watching on YouTube, it's probably working because it's not the Facebook. Yeah, see, I don't know. All kinds of issues there. But you know what? We're going to power through because by golly, today we start. Okay, here's what's going to happen for the entire month of December, which I'm going to do. I'm going to need to do a different video, I see, that I want to be more of an evergreen thing to go through what we're going to do every day. I'm going to pull up something from my book that kind of addresses these issues I'm talking about when it comes to like the loneliness, obligation buying and hoarding and feeling like crap if you can't do it for whatever various reasons. Especially at times like this, the economy is tight. I haven't looked at any of the reports this morning of what people are saying is happening out there, but I know firsthand things are tight. And I mean, not just in a normal tight. This is like a little bit more tight. And also people are waking up and tired of a lot of the gimmicks. The Target thing. Man, Black Friday at Target was probably that's the biggest bait and switch I think I've ever seen, honestly, when it comes to that Black Friday thing. They really, really, really hosed their customers. That was just, I mean, I'm sure the details were in the fine print, but also didn't realize how big the bag was that Target was giving out that was supposed to have all this super stuff in it or the potential for all the super stuff, or super stuff. And then you wound up with, a pack of Uno cards and a couple of things of lip gloss and stuff like that after building it up to be so much bigger. And, Target, you're gonna have to just eat that one, boss, because that was a terrible bait and switch. Anyway, but every morning while we're having our coffee, I want to just kind of share a thought with you that comes from the book. Now, today, if you saw the picture I put up this morning with Flip My Calendar, you saw this cool little pedestal, which I made a big one too. Let me show you the big one. The big one that I made, version of the little one that shows up for photo day. This guy thought it was kind of neat because I actually modeled this one, right? So here's the little one. That's hard to see. Wow! But you got the big one. So this pedestal, this isn't about putting my idea on a pedestal. I just thought it'd make for a fun visual to be able to have a pedestal to sit something on to then talk about. Now I gotta not be shaky and knock her off. But anyway, so the little pedestal. But now what is a pedestal really all about? A pedestal is representative of a solid foundation. And when you have a solid foundation, even in all the chaos that has been my Monday morning, here's the thing. My foundation was still laid, so I could come right back into the action once I got tired. Well, once I got finished ranting about my frustrations. But guess what? We're back on point because I built a foundation. And that also applies to so many other things. Like when it comes to your buying habits or your collecting habits, right? Once you see what's motivating you to do the things you do with your pocketbook and with your collection and your space and for other people. And then when you can name it and then you can line it out a little better, it gives you the opportunity to take control of that and less people are controlling you and your actions. I know for the longest time, Alicia and I, and yes, honey, I'm calling you out because we both did it. We were absolutely, I won't say suckers. Yeah, we were suckers. We were suckers when it came to like when we would find the good deal. By good deal, I mean like seriously. There I go. I'm like, what's that word? Um, oh, I just totally lost the word. But anyway, we would find the good deal, which we would. We'd find things like 90% off clearance sales, and by default we'd buy it because it was a good deal. We wound up donating a whole lot of that stuff here recently before we got out of spring and into fall because we've been holding on to all those good deals for years now. We had to declutter, so we did. But anyway, but once you understand that is a thing that you may not realize you're doing, or you've gotten so used to it, it becomes attached to your identity. Well, lo and behold, you gotta you got to break free of it. That doesn't mean you give up your hobby and your habit, but to get a better hold of it, right? So, for this morning's readings, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to turn to pages 58 and 59 in my book, Toys or Totems, that helps kick off this whole thing. And again, starting with a foundation, a pedestal, if you will. And so, doing that, put my cheaters on because I am 51. By the way, 52 on Thursday. Can you believe it? The whole world will readjust on Thursday for me because I'll go from being 51 to 52. Amazing. All right. Now, again, we are looking at chapter 11, pages 58, 59, from me to you. Now, again, this is all about freeing this with perspective. Chapter 11, I choose my totems now. This is where the power shifts. You've honored the past, you've looked at the shelf with new eyes, you've seen how the spark was planted and how the story unfolded. Now comes the part where you get to choose. Not by default, not because of marketing, not because everyone else is into it, but because it speaks to you here, now, with who you are today. This chapter is about conscious collecting. This is where the shame dissolves and the clarity begins, where the clutter clears and your shelf becomes a reflection, not a distraction. You choose what stays, you choose what goes, you choose what speaks and what's just noise. And in doing that, your collection becomes a compass. Maybe you keep the figures that taught you bravery. Maybe you let go of the ones tied to scarcity or anxiety. Maybe you keep that one broken toy from your childhood because it still makes you smile. Maybe you display only 5 pieces instead of 50. But each one means something real. There's no right way to collect, there's only your way. And when you lean into that, the shame disappears, the need to explain disappears, and all that's left is alignment. Totems are teachers, not trophies. And you are the student, the curator, and the witness. So take a breath, look around. Which ones still spark? Which ones still speak? Which one deserves a front row in the story you're writing now? Choose them, arrange them, honor them, because you're not just collecting anymore, you're composing a life. Pretty deep, huh? But it's true. And in that point, with everything that I want to focus on for this month of December, is again, and again, this isn't about selling you my book. This is about sharing the philosophies inside of the book that can help you in this time where we're seeing, again, the loneliness epidemic. We're seeing the fear, anxiety, and stress that comes from holiday shopping for the most wonderful time of the year, as Andy Williams sang so well. And everybody wound up being so stressed out because you had to buy, because again, we have been programmed to believe that a gift in and of itself represents love. And if you don't have more gifts, then you don't have enough love that you're sharing. Now think about that, chew on it. And it's true. And there's nothing wrong with gift giving. I'm a firm believer in it. And I love doing it. And I love loading in friends and family. And even some people I don't even know. Not really. And I've always done it and I enjoy that, but it's a matter of you doing it for you from your pure heart side, more so than an obligatory commercial, beat this into your head, Hallmark movie moment, right? But once you have the awareness, you can enjoy it again and understand that the limitations that you find yourself in life, they're okay too, but they're real if they're real, more so than manufactured stress and anxiety. Again, I'm going to pull that quote back up from Seth Godin, which I just love. Stress is wanting two things. Well, stress is wanting two things that you can't have at the exact same time. Think about that. I love that. I truly do. Okay. So we did that this morning. We've done that. We've covered that. I want to keep that in your thoughts. And it's like the whole month of December, this isn't about me preaching to you about don't buy that, don't be dumb, bruh. No, not at all. But it's just sharing insight into a way of doing things that you're already doing, that you enjoy doing. There's a base level underneath there that started as a joy that then got corrupted and messed around with and manipulated to where it's not joyful anymore. But know that you can get back to that point of joy and enjoyment. And so that's what I wanted to do here. And now that all the hiccups are out of the way, it's a better Monday. The coffee is still good. And the snow is, I don't know what's doing out there because this room does not have a window. What a shame, right? But if I had a window back here, all you would see would be the living room. That wouldn't work. If you had a window right here, you would see the utility room. That's a boring sight. Window over there, you'd be in the kitchen, which can be interesting from time to time. And a window over here would put you in the hallway where there's really not much going on other than the air filter for the HVAC that, yes, I need to change out. Hmm. Speaking of which, another thing that I shared that I hope if you didn't see it, because but Vigilant Inspection Services, my buddy Aaron Anderson, he put out a fantastic, what I call a PSA. It's not an ad. It is a reminder that like when it comes to your home and definitely going into this time of year, that there can be, like you do a quick fix or somebody does a quick fix on you or for you for like your HVAC systems and your plumbing and this for like exhaust stuff. If they didn't do it right, you've got the potential for a very bad situation. And Aaron, in his services, he inspects all of those things to make sure that all ventilation systems are working perfectly. You don't have any leaks and stuff like that. And I shared that yesterday because it is such a powerful and important lesson. Because again, we're going into the cold time when the heaters are what's on. And if you've got electricity or gas or whatever it is, to be mindful that your system is working right because some things are not good for human beings to continue being on the earth. So, the silent killer, they call it with the CO2 or the carbon monoxide poisoning. So, again, huge shout out to Aaron and Vigilant Inspection Services for putting that out because, again, it's a reminder. And what's funny now, you folks who are going to say, well, I knew that. There are folks who don't. And I'm not going to pick on any one particular generation at this point, but there's a lot of things that aren't being taught to these folks, and they just flat don't know better. And as such, it's a good reminder, and I like that a lot. So if I missed any of the very much, oh yeah, I'm glad you saw that because I'm very sincere about. Aaron actually saw that I shared and posted it, but it's important because it really is. What else are we doing? We're going to take a breath, have some coffee, think about things. Another thing about this new series that I'm doing for December, and I'm printing these little guys up, and they're going to start out in the morning with you every morning, along with Flip, to kind of kick off the thought of the day. Like today being a pedestal, setting your foundation, understanding where you stand on things, and let you know that it's always there. I wanted in November, I put down an idea, and I've been tinkering with it as far as like an advent calendar. I got a 3D printer and I got some other tools and toys that I found that I could print and actually build out like an advent calendar, like box thing. I haven't mastered that yet, but I'm working on it. But anyway, I wanted to do that, but I didn't know what I was going to put in said advent calendar. Well, as thoughts evolve and imagination takes over, this is actually pretty cool. I do not believe I'm going to make an advent calendar out of the stuff. I'm just going to kind of collect it up. And then as we continue to go through, and for each 31 pieces of stuff, now this could wind up just being a bunch of crap for you, right? But I don't think so. Um, I'm going to do a giveaway towards the end of the month where all of these little totems that I printed up and remind you, I'm going to build a little set that I'm just going to give away. I don't plan on like marketing, merchandising, or selling this thing. I might. I don't know. It depends on how well it goes. I'm still a capitalist at heart, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, these little things right here just to help you serve as a little reminder. And I love doing contests and stuff where we all get to play together. That's just always been fun for me. And I'm the guy who would, when I was on the air, and traditional radio back then. I love doing silly stuff and stupid human contests. I know that may sound offensive, but let's be real. Some of the contests I did, were really kind of dumb. But the best part about them, though, they were fun. They were a lot of fun. They were never meant to be mean or anything like that. But it was just like, how far will you go? Not anything salacious, but it was like, how far would you go? One of the things I used to love to do, and the first time I did this, um, it was back in 93, 94, or something like that. And I was at KWCK in Searcy, Arkansas, quick 99.9. And one of the things I did, this is a joke, and I didn't know if it would happen, but I think I had a couple station T-shirts, and I said, "Hey, if you," on the air, I said this. They didn't see my face on the air. I said, "If you would like this brand new, shiny, squeaky clean, quick 99 T-shirt, be the first person to come to the station. Come to the station with KWCK written in lipstick on your forehead. This shirt's yours." That was fun. And people showed up. It was great with KWCK written on in lipstick across their forehead. How awesome is that? Bad thing is, I only have one shirt to give away. But there were a whole lot of people having fun. And that's really what those days were all about for me. That's why I still linger towards them. And what I would like to see translate here in this new space of broadcasting, I love doing that stuff and trying to figure out a way to do it to where it can include more people in the winning. Now, there's always going to be a grand prize. Not everybody can be a winner, but there can be a way that everybody can have fun and participate in a manner that doesn't break the bank, and I don't have to sell my soul for sponsorships because I'm not. I will not be doing that moving forward because, again, this 8 a.m. will always be our coffee talk. Always. That's all this is, man. There are going to be new shows that I'll be doing in this same similar type of format because, again, I've got reason to. And that's another thing. Before you crack the mic open, why are you cracking the mic open? So there will be some new things coming in 2026 that are going to focus in specifically on toys or totems. Then there'll be something specific for like creating evergreen content and helping you brainstorm and learn stuff, right? And then also the big push, my community project that looks to be expanding kind of exponentially soon with the virtual stump to connect people running for office with people they need to vote for them to get into office so they can get connected and actually learn about each other. Because if someone wants to represent you in our representative government, the onus is on them to get to know for you to get to know them, but it's also your responsibility to know who they are because all the complaints and complaining that we have about what's happening in DC, okay, this ain't political. This is job interview stuff. If they worked for you in your place of employment, whether you were the owner or a fellow employee, and those people act, if the people working with you do like they do in DC with incompetence and corruption and everything else, there's no party line there. It's on all sides. But you would fire them or you would write them up or you would report them or something. Um, well, that's on us, right? Because we forget or we don't care or we get indifferent. But on the local level, on the state level, those matter more than we realize. Again. So what was that? What's that phrase? Keep your own house clean, something like that. Well, and that's what this is for, just so you can get connected, get engaged. And younger folks, again, they don't get the opportunity to, I don't know, it's like the social studies, civics lessons don't seem to be getting out there because they don't understand the process or the concepts behind it. So I'm not looking to, or maybe I am looking to like re-educate these younger folks for their own good. I'm not even dogging them when I say it. It's on us. If we're not teaching the next generation how to do things, that's your fault. That's my fault. And so this is my way of in the civic area to do something that will get people knowledge and information and make an informed decision on things. And I'm not biased in any way. Every candidate that is on the Boone County ballot has an open opportunity to get this virtual stump video done. I come to you, okay, totally free to stack it up on the site, 72601life.com/virtual stump on Facebook. And there'll be some other outreaches as we go because it's just the right thing to do for me to offer that, right? And yes, there are other opportunities inside of there for like campaigns who need a little help in their campaigning stuffs. And I I offer that, but that's full disclosure. I'm still figuring out the full disclosure aspect of I don't want to name clients in this process because it's really none of your business or it's not my business is not your business when it comes to that because I'm not endorsing anyone. I'm just providing a service. And that's just the fact that it's equal and balanced all the way across the board. It just either they buy it or they don't. So I don't know. But anyway, more importantly, like I said, I'm explaining too much there only because it's that important to me. I don't want anyone to think that I have a bias one way or the other, Republican or Democrat or independent or libertarian or tomato. That's not my point. I'm not looking to influence an election. I'm looking to inform a community. And quite frankly, and this is the one that a lot over the years that I've done this, something similar too, because I've always since 2010, I've opened up the camera and microphone that I had at my disposal to everybody, right? Because that was my job to inform and entertain in the world of broadcasting. But the ones who didn't want to participate, or if they did, that was the big thing. Even if they came kicking and screaming, I'm cool. That's all right. But the ones who just flat wouldn't participate, here's the only thing I'll say to sway your opinion. If someone in that space who wants to represent you is not willing to go in front of a camera or microphone to state who they are, what they're running for, and why you should vote for them, if they're not willing to do that much that doesn't cost them a dime, they don't deserve the office. Period. Their job, no matter which particular position it is still to answer to the public. And if they're not willing to do that with just those three questions, there's nothing else there. I'm not looking for I'm not there's no I'm not throwing softballs or hardballs. It's just three simple questions. If they don't want to do that, I can assure you, you don't want them in our representative government because they obviously don't understand how the game is played and how important the responsibilities are of that office. I'll stand on that hill, period. So it's open to everyone. Again, I'll say it again, and I say that I get a little heated because again, there have been points in time throughout election cycles over the years when I've done this where I've caught in some flack from some people, and they can kiss it, man, because it's not true. It's an open platform to everyone who's running for office because the way I see it is, if you've actually made it to the ballot, you have been vetted by the system. So I don't have to question that. The system did its job. If something failed along the way, which I highly doubt, especially in Boone County, we have like the best clerk's office in the whole state of Arkansas. We really do. I have been, when it comes to Crystal Grady and the crew over there, I praise them every election cycle and in between to remind everyone because they do such a good job. And if you've ever worked an election and you've covered an election and you've been in places other than Boone County, you will know what I mean when you see those ladies in action. I'm just saying. Um, yeah, I'm bragging on you. I am. I will always brag on you because I've always been so impressed. But all that said, man, I'll stand on that hill. I just will because there's something I cannot stand whenever I see arrogance in public office at all. They are nothing more than employees of the public, period, regardless of party or any of that. If you are on one side and someone else is on the other side, and you believe in your side, they believe in their side, then we go into the debate process to figure things out to where we meet in the middle. That is civilized society, and it ain't hard. It's really not. But then it gets corrupted and screwed up and everything else. But it's um, not acceptable. But everybody will say, "Well, that's what they do. Politicians lie." Well, you hold them to the fire, man. And it starts on the local level. That's it. Because if everyone on the local level is held to that standard and everyone on the regional level is held to that standard and on the state level, I think it's easier to have hope that the system on the bigger scale, the federal level things, would be able to be okay or fixed in some way. It take time, root them all out. But that's it. I mean, but if they won't talk to a camera with three questions of who they are, what they're running for, and why you should vote for them, you don't want them. Period. And it's going to be interesting as I go because, again, being a small outfit, as some think, a small outfit with this outreach, you watch this thing bubble up and explode because I'm the only one doing it. Why? Because it means that much to me. I'm not charging for it. I'll eat any and all of those costs. Why? Because it matters. But if they don't take me seriously, that's on them and you, because you and I are working together on this thing. And that's the truth. It is 8:46. It is 28 degrees. It feels like 20. Oh, wait, 27. And it says it's snowing. I don't know if it's snowing or not, because I don't see a window, and it's a little different everywhere. But there is the weather advisory, the winter weather advisory for certain portions of the region around me. Be sure to keep. I know my buddy Tom over in Louisville. They're looking to get like 2 to 4 inches of snow. So hopefully it stays snow, no ice, because that's the part that sucks the most. But otherwise, it is what it is. But there you go. I went on my Monday morning tangent despite technical glitches. One technical glitch starting off is mine. The rest being, I don't know. I'm sure I'm glitching and stopping. I actually did that on purpose. That was me. But the audio, from what I understand from observers, is that things are going well. Okay, so Damien, I do believe, is in around Omaha. So it is snowing out there. So Damien, thank you very much for that heads up. So again, don't know what the roads are going to look like. Don't know how much is coming down, what's going to accumulate, what's not going to accumulate. But we're going to play it by ear and see what happens. But pay attention to stormtrack360.com. Brandon, I know, will have all of the latest information for you because that's what he does best. Now, he can't be everywhere at all times, and he needs extra eyes. So if you have ground reports, send them to him, and he'll be able to get the word out for you because he built quite an impressive platform for that and a good centralized location to keep up with it. Much love, much respect for that because that is no easy thing to do. And yep, there it is there. So big thumbs up there, Damien. Thank you, buddy. That's it. What's on your mind today? What's on your plans for December? I hope it'll be tuning in, having coffee with me, where we talk about the little things, literally, the little things. Oh, jam. God, that was terrible. But just again, you're not alone in this thing. I'm not alone. None of us are. We got each other, even if it's inside of the box. But it's a matter of reframing your brain, taking a look at different things, and you don't have to be stressed out about stuff unless you so choose. Remember, worrying is praying for things you don't want. We're not going to do that. We're over that. It's dumb. That said, I do need to get off here. Like I say, I planned on wrapping at 8:30 this morning, but the glitches didn't let that happen. But you know what? Again, we made it. We did it. It's true. You can also, just for the record, at toysortotems.com, let me come back over here. I've actually put, excuse me, that was rude. Where am I? So, anywho, let's see if that link. I'm fighting with this thing just a little bit this morning as far as like it doing what it needs to do. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. But if you come over here to toysortotems.com where you can learn more about the book, I've also kicked off a brand new blog series that will be following along with what we're doing here. And yeah, so there it is, toysortotems.com. Follow the blog. Stay. I mean, it's like the most important thing I am looking for 11,000 readers and 11,000 lives touched. But also, I'm just wanting to encourage people every single day because a little extra pat on the back, a little bit of a boost never hurts. And that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to avoid getting, not get ramped up, amped up, and a little bit perturbed about certain things, but not without explaining why. Because it's not just a personal thing. I don't care to be right, and you don't have to be wrong. That's another philosophy I have ingrained in myself now. I don't have to. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that kind of validation. I just don't. Looks like over on the Facebook feed, I done froze up again. So I don't know. I got to look at the YouTube and see if it's doing that over there too. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. Why? Because it's only technology, and technology is simple. It truly is. It just because people made it simple, and I appreciate them for it. Let's get out of here. All right. Get to work. Do something. My God. Go play in the snow. Don't try to throw a snowball yet, though, because those aren't what those are made for. But if you can, though, send some videos. It'd be fun. All right, let's wrap it up. Monday, December the 1st, 2025. We made it.